Hello guys, welcome to Data Hacks. In this video, we are going to see about the full stack quiz app. So I'm going to implement with the family guy data in Next.Js. Here is the full demo for the application. This is the landing page. You can go to the character page which is implemented dynamically, and you can go for quiz page also. If you click this quiz button, it will navigate to the quiz page. Let's wait for a few seconds. Yeah, now the quiz page has been given. Click, then random question will be generated for you. After that, you have to select the correct answer. It will show the correct answer. If you select wrong answer, it will show the wrong answer. So click, it is wrong one, and it will show the correct answer also here. If you want to do it again, click this one. Another question will be generated. So I took the reference from the free code camp in this particular blog. If you want this reference, I will provide a link in the description. So here you can see the starter repository for this particular application. I will provide this link also in the description. You can clone the starter code project from this starter branch. I will provide the link for this repository in the description so you can clone. First copy the URL, go to File Explorer, create command prompt, git clone. You have to clone from the starter branch and paste the URL. Now your starter repository will be downloaded or cloned. So here you can go to the folder, open command prompt again, open VS Code. Once the VS Code has been Once VS Code has been opened, you can close this tab and open the terminal. Here, first install the dependencies which we need for this application using this NPI. The dependencies which will be mentioned in the package.json, so it will install automatically once this command has been executed. Once all the packages or under node modules are installed, you can start the Next.js server. Now you can access the landing page, navigate to the landing page. So once the landing page is rendered, you can see the landing page like this. This is how the starter will be look like. Next, we are going to see about the shared layout. So here, if you open the app router, you can see the layout which is globally available for every page. First, let me close the terminal. So here in this layout, I'm going to provide body some value or h1 h1 and rom. Let's go to the browser. So you can see rom here. So if you create any pages, there also this particular layout will be reflect. So I want to show the navigation bar in every page using this layout. So I'm going to create custom navigation. navigation slash closed. Next, I'm going to create a navigation inside here. So the customly created navigation component. So let's go and you can see the input path. Move to the navigation page. So in this navigation page, I'm going to remove this HTML element and I'm going to provide my own elements. First one is div tag, class name, and I'm going to provide the styles which I have copied previously. So next, open the div elements. Next, provide the container, container. Inside this container, provide a link tag, link, link. So class name for the container, and I'm going to paste the styles which I have copied. Here in the link tag, we have to provide the href, and it is pointing toward the home page. Inside, we have to provide any text or content. Also, we can provide images also. Here, I am going to provide Next.Js image component. So, image component and source slash logo.png. If you see the logo.png inside public, here you can see logo.png. This is available in a public folder. Next, I am going to provide the alternative name. So the alternative name is family guy. Next, provide width 70, height 50. So now the image also provided. Next, I am going to create another link tag, link, link. Here href path. So I'm going to provide it is as a quiz. So here I'm going to provide class name, control Z, class name. So this class name should provided inside the link tag. So the class names are flex, items, center, justify, center, justify, center, gap, 1. Adding in x-axis should be 5 and the font should be in semi bold. Semi bold. Text should be in black and the transition color, transition colors, background, green 500, rounded MD, duration should be 600. Finally, hover values, background, green 600. So inside this link tag, we are going to provide arrow, TB arrow big right filled. So provide it here, and the class name text large, and in the bottom provide the values at take a quiz. So now you have created the custom navigation. So the custom navigation component has been generated. First I am going to format them. After this, here I am facing some ESLint error, so I am going to remove this one and going to the layout. Here the navigation has been imported and used inside the body. So these children represent the pages. What are the contents of the pages? These children represent the contents of the each page. So this navigation will present above all the pages. The language English represent the content is in English language, and we have provided the class name for fonts. So this particular font will be applied in the every page, every elements. And here metadata. So here we have created a metadata for layout page. If we are giving the metadata for every page, this data will be overwritten and the particular data will be reflected in the browser. So go to the browser and you can see here. So here we have done few mistakes. Let's check. Go to VS Code, go to navigation component. So for container, we can remove the classes. This one, and we can give the class name flux, justify between, and padding y hyphen y. So after changing this class name, you can go to the browser and see here. The navigation button has been rendered properly, so it will reflect in every page. If you implemented till this, you have been done a progressive application till now. Let's start to work on the home page implementation. For this, first we have to work on API route. Next, in page.jsx file. Here, open the app folder, go to the page.jsx. So in this page, if you want to render the contents, first you need to work on the API routing. So go to the API, characters, route. Here, copy this character. The JSON data will come here. Paste it, colon, and characters dot data. So in this way, You are passing object with key and the value. Go to the browser, copy the value, paste it, API slash characters, Peter Griffin, not Peter Griffin, characters. So it will get the data. Once API characters return the data, you can see the data in the browser. So this is how the API routing will return the data. Now go to the page. So here to get the data, first I will create one function which is going to be asynchronous function get all characters, and here it should consist of variable called data, and here await and fetch. By default in fetch method you will have the get method, use backticks dollar curly braces endpoints. So provide the endpoint here, provide slash characters, characters. So if you see here, you are providing slash here, and also in endpoint there will be one slash. So you can remove the slash from here. So the slash will not affect. Next, I am going to return data dot JSON. So this data will be converted into JSON, and here constant data await. You can provide get all characters here. So once if you got the data, console.log data. Go to home page, refresh VS Code. You can see all the data here. So close the terminal, remove this one, and remove the HTML elements which are present here. Main. So inside main I'm going to provide container. So inside this container I need to provide class name, and here check for the style which you want to provide here. So I have already copied the style, so I'm going to paste it here. Next we have to render the data dot characters dot map arrow function. So each data will be passed in the variable called item. Inside this item provide a return which will consist of link tag, link, href. So in this href we have to provide the dynamic content page values, backtick characters, dollar open braces close braces, item dot slug, and provide the item dot name and class name. So provide the value which we want here. So Inside this link tag, we have to provide image that should be a self-closing tag, source item.avatar. Next, height 500, width 500. Now we can format the home page and go to the browser and refresh the home page, and you can see here home page has been rendered successfully. And here we have missed one class name, so I'm going to provide this skipped class name. So after providing this, go to browser and refresh the home page. If we hover over the images, it will there will be some transition or resize in the image, so you can understand the data is resized, the image has been resized. The page has been successfully rendered. You can see the changes while hovering. We are going to see maintainability, which is used to reduce the complexity and increase the reusability and readability for the users. Here, if you go here, you can see get all character. So I'm going to remove from here and library. Go to library, characters. Here you have the get all characters empty. So I'm providing here. Now I'm going to import this function from here to the home page. Import get all characters. It has been imported successfully. Again, refresh. The home page has been rendered properly. So in this way, if there is any common function, we can use in a single component and we can reuse multiple times. To implement dynamic character pages in this Next.Js application, first you have to work on the route for that particular page. So open the characters inside API folder, dynamic slug value folder, and route for the dynamic route. Here, first we have to provide the request, then params. So this params is used to get the value of the slug which we have mentioned here. If we provide params only without a request, the request variable will be assigned to the params, so the value will be changed. So we have to provide a request and params both. Next, open the try method. Inside a try method, open the new variable called character, and here use the data from here. So copy the variable, paste it here, characters dot data, and here you have to find the particular value which will satisfy this condition. So I'm going to use arrow function, and each variable will consider as an item. So here item dot slug condition and params dot slug. So in this way we can filter the character values. Next, I'm going to provide new constant character hyphen quotes. Here I'm going to copy the data from here, provide here dot data dot filter and here we have to use arrow function and each value will passed as an item itself. So here in this filtration process we can use item dot character character hyphen id equal to the condition character dot id. Next we are going to use this both values to return the values. Here return next response dot json, and here pass the value in an object character hyphen. Next we are going to pass the character codes. So while passing character codes we have to provide certain condition. So character codes dot length, if the length is greater than 0, at that time it can pass the character codes. If it is not satisfied, return null value. So here we have provided only character. So both key and value are same. At the time we can provide this. Next, format the code so it will be easy to understand. Next, remove this default return and provide catch. Here in this catch error. Next, return new next response and provide internal server error and create an object. In this object we have to mention the status 500. So again I'm going to format the code. If we return this, so it will return the status also in this next response. Go to browser, copy the URL API slash characters slash Peter Griffin. So we can wait for the data be appeared in the browser. So we got the values properly here. Next I'm going to create a page, dynamic characters page. So now we can go for the app router, characters, dynamic page folder, page.jsx file. Here remove the HTML elements. Before that we have to get the data. So for that, first I am going to provide export asynchronous function get character by slug. Inside this get character slug, you have to create a constant variable called data await fetch. By default fetch is going to be a get method. So dynamic variables slash characters. Here we have to provide end point slash slug. So for this slug, we are going to get the value from the params. Next, we have to return the received data. Return data.json. Here we can get the data. Constant, structure, character, character quotes. So to get this, I'm going to copy this value and provide it directly and await and use the function get character by slug. Inside this params we have to pass params dot slug in. So params dot slug will be passed as a props to the get character slug. Here it will fetch the data and it will return the data. So it is a static page. We have to define a path for the static pages, right? For this, I'm going to use another function export asynchronous function generate static params and return. In this return, we will provide the paths. To provide the paths, first we have to get the data of the all the characters. So destructure the values using character wait get all characters. So here you will get the all the characters values. Here character dot map arrow function and each value will be passed as a character. So in this arrow function return it should be passed as a object. The key value is going to be a dynamic value which is provided here. Next, define the values. So character dot slug. So now we have defined the paths. So in case we are defining 4 paths and in URL you are giving fifth one, at the time it will fetch for the data. So it is an issue. To overcome this issue, we are going to export constant dynamic params false. This is one of the configuration to overcome this particular issue. So next, we are going to implement the HTML contents. Let me remove this. You can provide braces, container, container, container. So here you have to provide the class name. Select the class. So I have already selected the class name which are needed here. So it has been provided here as name. Next I'm going to provide the h1 elements. So here h1 class name, provide the styles. So here in this h1 we are going to provide the character name first. character dot name. After this h1, next we have to provide the unordered list class name. First provide the div tag. So class name, we have a class name here. So let's paste it here. So inside this div tag, we are going to provide h1 first. The class name for the h1 is going to be text. This one, and here we are going to provide character dot name. So this particular h1 tag will provide the character name. Next, we are going to provide the unordered list here. For that, ul enter a class name. Inside the unordered list, provide the character dot occupation dot map. In arrow function, I will pass each value as an item. Here, return value is going to be list. So for this, I'm going to provide list. Inside the list, I'm going to provide the item. Here, key. We have to provide key item. Again, class name. And here we are going to provide the value padding scrape this one. Next, after this div tag, I'm going to provide p tag. For this p tag, provide class name, and the class name going to be text small. And here I'm going to provide the character description. So character dot description. Next, after this p tag, again you have to provide the unordered list. Copy the unordered list already we have given. Paste it here. Here change the class name. Inside, instead of occupation, change to images. And here, instead of this item, we have to provide the images here. So remove this item and go to new one. So image, self-closing tag. Here provide the class name, and this class name is going to be transition. And next provide source for this page. It is going to be item, and width, next height. So we are going to provide the width as a 760, height as a 435. Next, after this, we are going to create or format the code. Again, copy the unordered list from the top. So we have unordered list. Scroll down, and before that we have to provide character dot skills. If its condition is satisfied, then we can return the values here. So wrap the contents with the empty tag. Here provide the h2 and class name. So in this class name, I'm going to provide styles, power, and skills. Next, we are going to provide the unordered list. So here is the unordered list which we copied previously, and change the styles for the unordered list. And next, instead of occupation, skills, and provide the class name. After providing the class name, the item and key will be remain same. Next, in this way, you have to provide for the character codes also. So here what I'm going to do is close this one, copy and paste it again. Instead of skills, I'm going to provide character codes. Copy the character codes and provide the values. Instead of power skills, here we have to provide famous codes. Change the class name for the unordered list. Again, instead of character skills is the codes. And here remove this item, provide braces is the item and idx. So here instead of item we can provide idx. Here item dot code. Go to the browser front end, go to the particular character page. So here we are facing some issue. VS Code open terminal. You can see that here we can see some issue in occupation. So let's go to the line number 32. We can see for the issue here. So it is not occupation, occupations. Go to browser, refresh again. So you can see the page has been rendered properly. Go back. Go to another page. Your page has been rendered successfully. If in the same way, each page will be generated statically. Let's start the implementation of quiz page. So in quiz page, we need certain data. So in order to get the data, first we have to implement the API route. Go to the app folder, API folder, quiz. Here first you have to get the random data. So here implement try catch method. Try catch method. In this try method, first we have to create a variable called random and math dot floor. Inside this math dot random function into questions. So this is questions data dot length. Next, we have after declaring this random variable need to return the value, return next response dot json. So inside this json we should have the object. Here I'm going to provide random question as a key, and as a value questions dot data, and inside this data we have to provide the random value which we have generated previously, and return the id of the particular random values. Here in catch it is going to be the same error, console the error. Finally return next response, and next response should be new dot json internal server error, object status colon 500, and remove the common return values which are outside the catch, try catch method. Now you can go to the quiz page. So close this API folder, go to the quiz page. First you have to get the values. For that, export asynchronous function get random quiz question, and here you have to create a variable called data to get data's await fetch backtick dynamic values endpoint and quiz slash random. Finally, here you should not provide catch. By default catch value will be there. To remove the catch, I am going to mention no store. This means catching will not be happen here. Next, return data dot json format. We are going to call the datas in the page function. Again constant data await get random question function. This function will be called, and here data will be returned. Remove the HTML values which are present here, braces, container, here we have to provide class name, and I already selected the styles, so I'm going to just paste the styles here. After this container, here we have to provide as main. Next, I'm going to provide div tag. So div, again another div tag. So in this div tag, I'm going to provide class name, and in second div provide class name. Here inside a div tag, we have to provide image self-closing tag. So source wallpaper dot jpg. Next, height width. Both should be remain same 700 and 700. Now format the document. Next, after this images, we have to create another div tag, div h1. So here it is not coming. Div. For this div, I am going to provide class name, and inside this div tag h1 class name, and for h1 family guy is. Next, p tag class name. Here we have to provide some random text. So let me paste it here. So let me copy and paste it here. Pasted. After this p tag, we need to provide link tag, and href for the link tag should be backtick slash quiz slash dollar hyphen data dot random question random question. Next, here I'm going to provide one class name. Here we have to provide the image which we have downloaded previously, and provide class name for this particular image. Text need to be large. Finally, so we have to give the note what is the purpose. Take a quiz now. So format it again. Go to the browser, copy the URL, quiz. So here we are facing this error. Let's check. Here we didn't provide the slash, so we have added. Let's refresh and check here. So now you can see the quiz page. So once we click this button, it will navigate to the question page, but here we are not having any questions. To get the data and implement, we need route for the questions also. For that, next I am going to work on the API routes. Close this page, route app folder API quiz ID. Inside ID, so in this route page, we have already implemented the route similar to this ID dynamic page, go to characters, slug. Here you already implemented the similar route. So copy and paste it here. So first, instead of character, we need to change into question. So paste it, and here change the characters into questions. So these questions data will be filtered using the params ID. So here we are using slug. Instead of slug, we need to use ID. And here you need to change to ID. Remove the characters quote and create another variable and destructure it. Correct answer, comma, spread operator, rest. Here question. So the variable which we have filtered from here. Next, we have to pass the values. So copy the question, provide the question here, and rest. Copy the rest, remove, and provide here. We don't need this character, so let's remove this. Here we are returning only the values except correct answer. Go to the browser, copy the values and paste it here, provide API. Now you can check whether the values are returning or not. The question values are returning here. So this API route is working perfectly. Next, I need to write the API fetch for this answer in the same way. Let me go here, copy the get method, go to answers, dynamic ID route. Here this get method has been pasted. The same way, first question will be filtered. Next, here we are filtering questions and rest of the values. And finally, we have to create another variables called constant filtered question equal to questions dot data dot filter. And here we are going to use arrow function, and each value will referred as the item. So in this filter, item dot id, which is not equal to params dot id. Next, create another variable called random. So constant random maths dot floor. Inside math dot random will be multiplied with filtered questions dot length. So the filtered questions length will be calculated and it will be multiplied with the random values. Here I am going to change the values which are going to be written. First one is correct. So key is going to be correct and the return value for the key is going to be correct answer variable. And the second, random. Filtered question. We have to provide the value of the array. So in this array, only one particular question will be written with ID. So here in this catch, error will be thrown. Next, go to the quiz page. So quiz dynamic ID page. Here what we are going to create. Here first we are going to create the values or function which is used to get the data. Asynchronous function get with questions using ID as a prop. Constant data to store the values. Await fetch backtick $endpoint. Provide slash this slash ID. So here it will get that data. After getting data, we are going to return in a JSON format. So inside this page function, I'm going to create one question and equal to await get quiz question params dot id. So this id will be passed to this function. Here in the line number 15, data will be fetched. In line number 16, data will be returned. And here line number 20, data will be stored in a question variable. Finally, here remove the values container. So here also we have to close the container and add class name. So container class name, and here change the mistake, and here let's change the container as a main tag. Inside this container we have to provide one h1 tag, class name, paste the values, provide curly braces, question dot title. Next we have to import the answer tag. It need to be self-closing, so answer. So for this answer, we are going to get the props answers and the value which we are going to pass is question dot answers, and next we are going to provide question id params dot id. So here we are getting some issue, so it is resolved. Let's format the document. Next we are going to implement the answer component, which is going to be a client page. So open the component layout answers. First of all, I'm going to create a variable called, first we are going to create a usage constant selected set selected and use state null, and second use state, third use state, and here we are going to change the values. Instead of selected data, here you can change data and change to capital S here. Here instead of selected loading, and provide loading. So for loading we need to provide the boolean values, so by default it is false. Next I'm going to implement the HTML elements. For that, remove the values, open the braces, wrap with the empty elements, and first of all we are going to provide the unordered list. For this unordered list class name, paste the class name. Next, with condition we are going to loop the values, so answers dot map with arrow function, each value will consider as a variable of item, open braces, close braces. Here create a constant value to check is loading. Here selected equal to item and loading. Next, constant is wrong. Here we are checking whether the true value and the wrong value. So here copy the condition, paste it. Instead of this loading, we are going to provide data dot correct. If not equal to selected, and the second one, last one is constant is correct. Data dot correct equal to item. The use state, and here we will select the item which is coming from here, and loading also use state. Whether all is true, true. Here also every condition is true, true. Here also is correct. True means true, it will return true. Next, here in return braces link tag is going to be item, and button, for this button also we are going to provide multiple events. Disable, it should be disabled when the condition become true, data or loading. Next, we are going to provide on click event. In this on click, use arrow function, set selected item. So for each click, the particular item will be updated. Next, class name. So for this class name here, braces cn braces. So here we are going to provide multiple classes. That's why, and it is provided after one set of classes provide comma and next provide the condition and add the classes is loading. If it is true, hyphen animate pulse, provide comma, check is wrong, question mark, background should be red with 700. If it is false, background should be slate 800, comma, next one is correct. If uncondition is true, we have to provide outline text should be green 500. So inside this button, we are going to provide the values of item, and again is correct. If it is correct, means we are going to provide the component fa check self closing one, and again if it is wrong, is wrong, condition is true, md nearby error self closing tag. After this, finally we have to provide another curly braces condition, data dot random. If it is true, return link tag. So we need only this one. So provide link tag, link hyphen link. For this link tag, we are going to provide href backtick dollar symbol quiz slash data dot random. So here we are mentioning the values. Next, I am going to provide class name and inside this link tag I'm going to provide the image component, which is fi repeat, provide a class name, and it is self-closing. Here this link tag is used to click the do it again. So here once we click this button, this use state will update, and we have to fetch whether the value is correct or not after this one. So for that I'm going to use effect arrow function, and here I'm going to provide the conditions as the posting id selected. Once the value has been selected or question id has been updated, at the time we have to run this use effect. Now go to the logics present inside, create a variable called subscribed to. Next we are going to provide the if condition. If selected, if one particular value has been selected, at that time we have to run these values. So loading should be enabled to. Next, fetch function should be happen, fetch backtick is slash API answer slash dollar string ID. So once the data has been fetched, you can get the values in arrow using then method and catch method. We can get the results as a response, and the response return response.json. Next again, then here also we are going to use arrow function, and the values will pass as a data. Here update the loading state to be false. All the data has been fetched. If condition subscribed, if condition is true means we have to update that data set data. After this if condition, all the values has been run, we have to return certain values. Return arrow function. In this arrow function console, the cancel subscribed will be changed to false. So subscribe will change to false. Now you can go to the browser, refresh the page. So here we have missed one condition. So if there is no value means we should not proceed this. So it should stop here. The condition will become false. Refresh again. So we have not mentioned here also data.random. So refresh again. So here we are could not see the values properly. So I'm going to provide this style color white. So you can see the values refresh again. So here once we click the button, if it is not correct answer means it will change to red and the correct answer will be provided here. So if we click do it again, it will fetch the random another value, and if we click, if it is wrong means it will provide the value. So here the answer is correct. So this is how the basic Next.js 13 application will work. Here what is happening means once we click the on click, this use state will be updated. This use effect will be triggered. By default subscribed will be true. Value will be selected here. So here you have to load the page and fetch the data for the particular questions. So answer will be written from here. Here we have to update the value, answer value. Next, here with this condition, if the answer is correct, we are checking the conditions here, whether the answer is correct or not, loading or not. According to this variable, here we are providing the symbols. So here you can see the demo here. One value has been selected and the correct value for this question is Mexico. So this function has been evaluated perfectly. We are clicking button, it will fetch for the answer. After fetching answer, it will show the answer. If it is wrong, it will show it is wrong. In this way, only this quiz application will work. We can navigate back to the home page also. Here all the values will be here. Click, you will go to the particular dynamic page. Let's wait for a few seconds. It will move to the dynamic page of this particular character. So you can see the description and the images are shown here. And I want to take a quiz. So I am clicking the quiz button. And here quiz page has been given. It is asking for let us take quiz or not. So I am providing let us take. So here it will show the random quiz questions. Click. If there is answer true, it will give green color button. If it is false, it is written the red color button. This is how the whole application will work. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this, hit the like button, subscribe the YouTube channel. You will get the updates on time.